The morning sun cast long shadows across the broken streets of New York. 50 years had passed since the Galactic Council arrived on Earth, promising protection and guidance to humanity. Commander James Stone walked through the quiet streets, his boots crunching on scattered debris. The once proud city now stood as a shadow of its former self, with alien monitoring towers looming over every district. He pulled his collar up against the cold wind and checked his watch. The Council's daily broadcast would begin soon. The same message they had repeated for decades. Humanity is not ready. We protect you from yourselves. Stone's jaw tightened as he remembered the old videos of Earth before the Council. Bustling cities, space programs, and free scientific research. In his pocket, a small device buzzed. Stone ducked into an empty alley, pulling out the band communications unit. The message was simple. Evidence found. Meeting at sunset. His heart raced. After 3 years of secret investigation, they might finally have proof of what many suspected. The Council wasn't protecting humanity. They were farming it. The underground bunker was crowded with 20 of Earth's remaining leaders. They gathered around a table made from old subway signs, their faces lit by dim emergency lights. Dr. Anna Wells, her gray hair tied back messily, stood at the head of the table. Her hand shook as she activated a holographic display. Another piece of forbidden technology. "Look at these readings," she said, pointing to charts and graphs. "The Council isn't just restricting our growth. They're actively draining Earth's resources. Our planet's core elements are being harvested at an alarming rate." The room filled with angry whispers. Stone studied the data. The numbers matched what his team had found. Systematic extraction of rare Earth elements, strange energy signatures around major population centers, and most disturbing, unusual readings from human test subjects in Council medical facilities. "There's more," Wells continued, her voice dropping lower. "We've intercepted communications between Council ships. They're not just taking our resources. They're studying us. Like lab rats." She played a decoded message. The alien language had been translated into plain text. Human specimens continue to show unprecedented ability to process type K particles. No other species has demonstrated this capacity. Recommend accelerated harvesting schedule. The room erupted in outrage. President Thompson, one of the few elected officials still allowed to govern, slammed his fist on the table. "They told us we couldn't handle advanced technology. That we needed guidance. But they're the ones who need us." Stone's communicator buzzed again. His blood ran cold as he read the message. "Council ships entering atmosphere. New restrictions incoming." He looked up at the worried faces around him. "They're making their move. Right now." The ground shook as massive ships descended over the city. Their shadow plunged the room into darkness before the emergency lights kicked in. The Council's voice boomed through every speaker and device. "For the safety of humanity, all space travel is now prohibited. All energy production will be overseen directly by Council representatives. This is for your protection." Wells laughed bitterly. "Protection. Always protection. While they strip our world bare and treat us like cattle." She turned to Stone. "Show them what else we found." Stone placed a small cube on the table. It projected images of secret Council facilities built inside mountains and under oceans. In each one, humans were being tested, their bodies connected to strange machines. The data scrolling beside each image told a clear story. Humanity possessed something the Council desperately wanted. "We've hidden this long enough," Stone said, his voice firm. "They push us down, tell us we're not ready, while they harvest our world and study our people like specimens. Every restriction, every new rule, it's all been to keep us weak and blind." President Thompson stood slowly. "Then it's time. Activate the emergency protocols. Contact all resistance cells." He looked each person in the room in the eye. "We've been preparing for 50 years, building in secret, learning their weaknesses. If they want humanity's true potential, We'll show them exactly what humans can do when pushed too far." As if in answer, the walls shook again as more council ships filled the sky. But this time, in hidden bunkers and secret bases across the world, humanity began to wake up. The council had no idea what they had started. They would learn soon enough. Deep beneath the frozen surface of Antarctica, Dr. Rita Miller worked in a hidden laboratory carved from ancient ice. The room hummed with banned technology, machines built from stolen parts and human ingenuity. She hadn't seen sunlight in 3 months, but that didn't matter. What mattered was the glowing cube floating above her workbench. Power reading stable at 40%, her assistant said, watching numbers flash across a screen. "They'll never expect this from us." The cube pulsed with a soft blue light, defying every restriction the Council had placed on human technology. It was humanity's first working quantum core, and it was about to change everything. 200 feet above them, Council ships patrolled the empty ice fields, their sensors blocked by special minerals in the cave walls. They never noticed the network of tunnels beneath their feet or the thousands of humans working in hidden facilities across the planet. In another chamber, Tom Reed adjusted his council overseer uniform. For 5 years, he had played the role of Mark Thompson, a loyal alien representative. The disguise was perfect. The council never imagined humans could be clever enough to infiltrate their ranks. He activated his hidden communicator, sending his daily report to the resistance. "The council is getting nervous," he wrote. "They've detected energy spikes but can't find the source. They don't understand how we're hiding it." He smiled, thinking of Dr. Miller's work. The aliens had no idea that humans could naturally sense and manipulate quantum fields. They thought they were dealing with simple primates. Miles away, in an abandoned subway tunnel under Moscow, resistance fighters trained with weapons that shouldn't exist. The Council had banned all advanced technology, but they forgot something important. Humans were good at making things from scratch. Every piece of equipment was built from basic materials, transformed by human hands and minds that refused to be limited. "Movement upstairs," a guard called out. Everyone froze. Above them, heavy footsteps echoed through the old station. Council peacekeepers on patrol. The fighters held their breath. But they didn't worry too much. The quantum shielding would hold. It always did. Back in Antarctica, Dr. Miller received an urgent message from the resistance leadership. Test results confirmed. Humans are the only ones who can process K particles efficiently. The Council's been lying about everything. She read the data twice, her hands shaking with excitement and anger. This was why the Council really came to Earth, not to protect humanity, but to study them, to figure out why humans could do things that should be impossible. Every restriction, every rule about technology, was meant to keep humans from discovering their true potential. Tom Reed walked through the Council's main monitoring station, nodding to alien officials who never suspected his true identity. On his tablet, he saw the latest directives: increased patrols, more restrictions, tighter controls. The Council was afraid, though they would never admit it. Afraid because their sensors kept picking up impossible readings. Afraid because humans weren't acting like they should. In a deep-sea base off the coast of Japan, engineers put the finishing touches on humanity's first fleet of starships. Built in secret over decades, hidden from the Council's watchful eyes. The ships looked simple on the outside, exactly what you'd expect from a primitive species, but inside they held technology that would make the Council tremble. Dr. Miller's quantum core pulsed brighter, reaching 60% power. In her notes, she wrote the truth they had discovered. Humans aren't just good with quantum physics. We're part of it. The Council thinks they're studying us, but they don't understand what they're dealing with. Every human can sense the quantum field. Every human can learn to use it. We just needed to remember how. The resistance network grew stronger each day. Hidden bases connected by quantum communications that the Council couldn't detect. Weapons and ships built from primitive materials that held impossible power. And most importantly, humans learning what they could really do, remembering abilities that had been sleeping for thousands of years. Tom Reed sent his final message of the day. They think they've trapped us, but they've really trapped themselves. When the time comes, humanity won't just fight back. We'll show them what we've always been capable of. He looked up at the alien ships floating above the city and smiled. The council thought they were watching humanity. They didn't realize humanity was watching them back, growing stronger, waiting for the right moment to show their true power. Nobody saw the first attack coming. The council ships appeared over London on a quiet Tuesday morning. They claimed they detected dangerous technology in the city center. Before anyone could react, the ships fired their weapons. The destruction spread for miles. 2 hours later, they hit New York, then Beijing. Millions died in minutes. The council's message played on every working screen. This is a necessary action to protect humanity from dangerous advances. Your safety is our primary concern. In the Antarctic base, Dr. Miller watched the death count rise on her screens. 2 billion dead. Her hands trembled as she typed commands into her quantum core. "They're not even trying to hide it anymore," she whispered. The core pulsed with bright blue light, revealing the truth about the attacks. These weren't warning shots, she announced to the resistance leaders through their secret network. The energy readings show they're harvesting death energy. They're collecting something from humans when we die. The quantum readings didn't lie. Each explosion was carefully designed to capture something the council wanted. Tom Reed ran through the council's command ship, his cover as Mark Thompson still intact. He recorded everything he saw. The alien leaders weren't even pretending to be sad about the deaths. They were excited. Their instruments collected streams of strange energy from the blast sites, energy that only appeared when humans died. Deep underground, the resistance activated their emergency plans. Hidden bases worldwide went dark. Millions of people disappeared into prepared bunkers. The council thought they were causing panic, but humanity had been ready for something like this. They just needed proof of the council's true nature. Now they had it. Dr. Miller's quantum sensors revealed the council's biggest secret: the death energy they're collecting. She reported to the resistance leaders. It's not just energy. It's human consciousness. They're harvesting our souls. The council hadn't come to Earth to protect humanity. They came to farm humanity's unique ability to generate quantum consciousness. In the Moscow tunnels, resistance fighters powered up their hidden weapons. The quantum-enhanced guns hummed to life. Years of preparation were about to pay off. Above ground, more council ships arrived, preparing to hit more cities. They thought humanity would be paralyzed with fear. They were wrong. Tom Reed sent his last undercover message. They're planning to harvest every major city. They think humans are just cattle. They have no idea what's coming. He removed his council disguise and headed for the ship's engine room. The council was about to learn what happened when you pushed humans too far. In her ice cave lab, Dr. Miller activated the full power of her quantum core. The blue light filled the room as she connected to the hidden network of cores worldwide. "They think they can harvest our consciousness," she said to her team. "Let's show them what human consciousness can really do." The resistance leaders sent out the signal everyone had been waiting for. In bunkers and hidden bases, humans activated their quantum technology. The council thought they had stripped humanity of all advanced tech. They never realized that humans had built something far beyond their understanding. Above the ruins of London, council ships suddenly lost power. Their sensors went crazy as quantum fields appeared everywhere. They had spent 50 years studying human consciousness, but they never understood what they were dealing with. Every human mind was naturally connected to quantum fields. Now those minds were awakening. Dr. Miller watched her screens as the quantum network spread across the planet. The council had made 3 big mistakes. They underestimated human intelligence. They didn't realize humans had discovered their soul-harvesting technology. And worst of all, they thought killing humans would make humanity weaker. Instead, they had created exactly what humanity needed: a reason to stop hiding, a reason to show their true power. As more quantum cores activated worldwide, Dr. Miller sent out one final message. They wanted to harvest human consciousness. Now let's show them what 2 billion angry human souls can do. The council was about to learn the hard way. You don't push humans to the edge unless you're ready to see what they're really capable of. The real war was about to begin. The first human warships rose from their hidden bases in the asteroid belt. Thousands of them, built in secret over decades. Their hulls looked simple, made from basic metals, but they glowed with blue quantum energy. Project Phoenix was finally ready. In the Antarctic base, Dr. Miller connected her quantum core to the fleet. They thought we couldn't build ships, she said to her team. They never guessed we were building something better. The quantum network hummed with power as 2 billion harvested human souls joined with the living, their energy flowing through the ships. Tom Reed stood on the bridge of the lead warship. He had spent years pretending to be weak, playing the role of a council officer. Now he watched as the fleet moved into attack position. Send the message, he ordered. Every council observation post across the solar system received the same words. Humanity is done being protected. The attacks began at exactly the same moment worldwide. Quantum-powered weapons struck council bases with impossible accuracy. The alien shields, which could stop any normal weapon, did nothing against human quantum technology. In orbit, council ships exploded as their own energy was turned against them. Dr. Miller's team activated their biggest project. Earth's atmosphere itself became a weapon. The quantum network turned the air into a shield that destroyed any council ship that tried to enter. Their own brutal attack on humanity had given humans the power to do this. Every soul they harvested made the quantum network stronger. The council's main command ship tried to send a warning to their homeworld. Their sensors showed impossible things. Humans were teleporting through solid walls. Human ships were appearing and disappearing at will. Human weapons were changing the laws of physics in local areas. Everything the council thought they knew about humanity was wrong. In the Moscow tunnels, resistance fighters stepped through quantum portals, attacking council bases across the planet at the same time. The aliens' advanced technology was useless against humans who could literally walk through their security fields. Every human had become a quantum warrior, able to sense and use the energy fields that connected all things. They're running, Tom Reed announced as the council ships tried to flee Earth orbit. But there was nowhere to run. The quantum network spread through space itself, carried by the consciousness of billions. Humanity had turned death into a weapon, using the council's own soul harvesting against them. Dr. Miller watched her screens as more council ships arrived. A massive fleet, meant to crush humanity once and for all. They still don't understand, she said. The council thought numbers would win. They didn't realize that every human, living or dead, was now part of something bigger. The Battle of Luna began as the council fleet reached the moon. They expected to find primitive human ships, easy to destroy. Instead, they found themselves fighting an enemy that could rewrite reality. Human vessels phased through their attacks. Human weapons created temporary black holes. Human soldiers appeared inside their ships through quantum tunnels. Tom Reed led the attack personally, his ship moving through space like it was alive. The quantum network let him feel every ship, every weapon, every soul in the battle. The council had wanted human consciousness. Now they were drowning in it. In her lab, Dr. Miller activated the final phase of the quantum network. Every human who died, she told her team, gave us their power. Their consciousness joined the network. The council didn't just kill us. They made us stronger. The blue glow of quantum energy covered the planet now, visible from space. The council fleet commander watched in horror as his ships were torn apart by weapons that shouldn't exist. Humans weren't just fighting back. They were changing the rules of reality itself. His sensors showed the truth too late. Human consciousness wasn't just special. It was the key to controlling quantum fields that shaped the universe. As the Battle of Luna ended, humanity had its first major victory. The Council fleet was destroyed, their weapons turned to dust by quantum fields they couldn't understand. But this was just the beginning. The Council was about to learn why some species should never be pushed too far. Humanity wasn't just fighting for survival now. They were fighting to reshape the galaxy. The Council's main fleet arrived in the solar system 3 days after the Battle of Luna. 10,000 ships, each bigger than a city. They filled the space between Mars and Earth like a metal cloud. Their message was simple: surrender or be erased. Dr. Miller stood in her quantum lab, watching the fleet's approach. The blue glow of the quantum network showed her everything. They brought their whole civilization. She said, "Good. Let them all see what happens next." Her fingers moved across the control panel, connecting to every human mind in the system. On the lead human ship, Tom Reed smiled as the Council fleet surrounded Earth. During his years as a spy, he had learned their biggest weakness: they couldn't imagine being wrong. The Council thought they knew everything about humans. That confidence was about to destroy them. The first wave of Council ships attacked Earth's atmosphere. Their weapons, powerful enough to crack planets, hit the quantum shield and stopped. Not weakened, not deflected. They simply stopped existing. The Council commanders watched in horror as their energy weapons turned into empty space. "Impossible," the Council leader broadcast. "Your species is primitive. You cannot have this technology." In response, human ships appeared inside their formation, passing through their strongest shields like they weren't there. The quantum network let humanity ignore the normal rules of space and time. In the Moscow bunker, resistance fighters prepared for ground combat. They didn't need ships to fight. The quantum network let them turn their bodies into living weapons. When Council troops landed on Earth, they found themselves fighting humans who could walk through walls, teleport behind them, and turn their own energy weapons into dust. Dr. Miller's sensors detected something new. Other alien ships were appearing at the edge of the battle. Not Council ships, vessels from other species. They had come to watch. The Council had kept many species under control, not just humans. Now those species wanted to see what would happen. The Council launched their secret weapon, a device that could shut down all technology in the solar system. They expected Earth to go dark. Instead, human quantum technology grew stronger. "That's not how we power our weapons," Tom Reed broadcast to the Council fleet. "We power them with something you can't shut down: human consciousness itself." The battle spread across space. Council ships found themselves fighting an enemy they couldn't understand. Humans weren't using normal weapons or following normal rules. Every human mind was connected to the quantum network, able to reshape reality in small ways. Billions of minds working together could reshape it in big ways. In her lab, Dr. Miller detected more quantum signals. The other alien species weren't just watching anymore. Some were powering up weapons, but not to fight humans. They were turning against the Council. The Council's perfect control was breaking down as everyone watched humanity do the impossible. Tom Reed led a strike team into the Council's command ship. They didn't need to break in. They simply appeared inside through quantum tunneling. The Council leaders backed away in fear as humans walked through their strongest security fields like they were air. "How?" they demanded. "You're primitives. You're nothing." "We're what you made us," Reed answered. "Every human you killed joined the quantum network. Every soul you harvested made us stronger. You didn't weaken humanity. You woke us up." The Council leaders finally understood their mistake. They had spent 50 years studying human consciousness, but they never realized what it could really do. Dr. Miller watched as more alien ships turned against the Council. Her quantum sensors showed the truth. Other species had powers too. Powers the Council had helped them forget. Humanity wasn't just fighting for Earth anymore. They were showing every suppressed species what was possible. The Council's perfect formation broke apart as their ships were destroyed or surrendered. They had come to crush humanity with overwhelming force. Instead, they found themselves fighting an enemy who had transcended normal physical rules. Their mighty fleet was being torn apart by the very species they had tried to keep weak. The Council was learning a lesson that would reshape the galaxy. Never push a species so far that they stop being afraid of you. Because sometimes, when you push too hard, you create something beyond your control. Humanity hadn't just survived the Council's attack. They had evolved beyond it. Deep inside the Council's command ship, Tom Reeve and his team found something that changed everything. A massive room filled with glowing containers, each one holding what looked like pure light. The quantum network told them what they were seeing. Stored human souls, thousands of them, collected over 50 years. "This isn't a weapon," Reed said, his voice shaking. "It's a library." The containers held more than just souls. They held memories, knowledge, power. The Council hadn't been harvesting humans for energy. They had been studying them, learning their secrets, trying to understand what made humans different. In her Antarctic lab, Dr. Miller received Reed's data through the quantum network. Her screens filled with information that the Council had kept hidden for centuries. They'd done this before, she told her team. Earth wasn't their first target, just their last one. The truth spread through the quantum network, reaching every human mind at once. The Council had visited hundreds of worlds, finding species that could touch the quantum field. Each time, they would pretend to protect these species while really studying them, learning their powers, storing their souls. On the Council command ship, Reed found records going back thousands of years. Every species they found, he reported, had some power over reality. Some could move things with their minds. Others could see the future. But humans were different. We could do all of it. Dr. Miller's quantum core pulsed with new energy as she understood what made humans special. "We're not just connected to the quantum field," she announced. "We're part of it. Every human soul is naturally linked to the forces that shape reality." The Council didn't want to stop us from advancing. They wanted to learn how we did it. Other alien ships moved closer to Earth, their crews watching as the truth came out. Many of them remembered old stories, tales of powers their ancestors once had. Powers the Council had helped them forget. Now they watched as humans showed them what those powers looked like. Reed's team found more proof in the Council's files. They knew what we were from the start. He sent through the network. Their first scans of Earth showed them the truth. Humans weren't meant to be slaves. We were meant to be something else. Something they feared. In her lab, Dr. Miller opened the last locked files. The Council's real plan became clear. They had spent thousands of years finding species with quantum powers, studying them, storing their souls, all to answer one question: how had these powers first developed? What they found on Earth gave them their answer. "Humans are living proof," Miller told the resistance leaders. "We're not just another species with quantum powers. We're what all those species came from." Ancient humans left Earth millions of years ago, spreading across the galaxy. Every species with quantum powers is descended from us. The Council's command ship tried to run as Reed's team released the stored souls, thousands of captured beings, finally free. Each one added their power to the quantum network. The Council had thought they were collecting weapons. Instead, they had gathered an army that would now help destroy them. Other alien ships began attacking the Council fleet. Species that had been kept weak for centuries remembered their true strength. The quantum network touched their minds, awakening old powers that the Council had helped them forget. Humanity hadn't just broken free. They had started a revolution. Dr. Miller watched as the quantum network grew stronger. Every freed soul, every awakened species added their power to it. The Council had spent thousands of years trying to understand quantum powers. They never realized they were helping create something that would destroy them. Reed stood in the Council's storage room, watching as the last souls were freed. "They wanted to know where quantum powers came from," he said. "They found the source, but they were too afraid to accept what it meant." The Council had discovered humanity's true nature, not simple primitives to be controlled, but the original source of all quantum powers in the galaxy. The council leaders fled as their great fleet fell apart. They had spent thousands of years building their power by keeping other species weak. Now those species were remembering who they really were. The council wasn't just losing a war. They were watching their entire empire wake up. The council leaders made their final decision from their hidden base at the edge of the galaxy. If they couldn't control the quantum powers, they would destroy everyone who had them. They activated their doomsday weapon, a device built to change the fundamental laws of physics across the entire galaxy. In her Antarctic lab, Dr. Miller detected the weapon powering up. The quantum network showed her what would happen. The device would rewrite reality itself, erasing anything that could connect to quantum fields. It would kill every species with quantum powers, including the council themselves. They would rather destroy everything than lose control, Tom Reed said from the bridge of his ship. The quantum network carried his words to every awakened mind in the galaxy. But they forgot something important. They showed us how to change reality. We can do it better. Dr. Miller connected her quantum core to the network of freed souls. Billions of minds joined together, human and alien, living and dead. The council thought they understood quantum powers. They never realized what was possible when every quantum-touched species worked together. The council's weapon fired. A wave of changed physics spread out from their base, destroying everything it touched. But it met something stronger, a quantum field created by billions of unified minds. Reality itself became a battleground as two forces fought to reshape the galaxy. They want to change the rules. Miller asked through the network, "Let's show them who the rules really belong to." Every human mind focused together, joined by the awakened alien species. They didn't try to stop the council's wave. They turned it back on them. The council leaders watched in horror as their own weapon reversed course. The changed physics they had created flowed backward, affecting only their own space. Their mighty weapon, designed to destroy quantum powers, instead erased only those who had tried to control them. In the space of a moment, the council simply stopped existing. Not destroyed, not killed. They were simply gone, as if they had never been. The species that had pushed too far, that had tried to harvest and control the powers of reality, had their own reality erased. Tom Reed watched from his ship as the council's bases and fleets vanished. "How do you fight an enemy that can change reality?" he asked. "You don't. You just help reality remember what they really are. Nothing." The council had spent thousands of years building their power. In the end, they were undone by the very forces they had tried to control. Dr. Miller's quantum sensors showed the aftermath. The galaxy was changing. Species that had been kept weak were remembering their true strength. The quantum network connected them all, helping them relearn what the council had made them forget. A new age was beginning. Alien ships approached Earth, not as conquerors but as students. Humanity had done more than defeat the council. They had shown the galaxy what was possible when quantum-touched species embraced their true nature. Earth became a center of learning as other species came to remember their own powers. The quantum network grew stronger as more species joined it. Dr. Miller watched as ancient knowledge flowed between civilizations. Humanity's gift wasn't just their power. It was their ability to share it, to help others remember who they really were. Reed landed his ship at the new Galactic Academy, built where the Council's main base had been. Representatives from hundreds of species gathered there, learning to use the powers that were their birthright. The Council's fate became a warning, a story of what happens when you try to control forces meant to be shared. In her lab, now a teaching center for quantum physics, Dr. Miller looked at her screens. The galaxy was healing. Species that had been enemies under the Council's rule were working together. The quantum network let them share their knowledge, their powers, their understanding of reality itself. Humanity had been pushed too far, but they hadn't just fought back. They had changed everything. The Council's fate became unspoken, not because it was too terrible to discuss, but because they had made themselves irrelevant. In trying to control the forces of reality, they had removed themselves from it completely. A new order rose in the galaxy, built not on control but on sharing. The species that the Council had tried to keep weak became strong together. And humanity, the source of it all, led the way into a future where quantum powers weren't weapons to be feared, but gifts to be shared.